So I wanted to talk about the Free Your Mind conference over the weekend. The things that were awesome, which was a lot. Just the whole experience itself was awesome. Just being around other truth seekers and being in my element, which I actually never met real truth seekers in real life. You know, there's people who will listen to me rant about things and people who will be interested and enjoy to hear me talk, but then after the conversation just go on about living their lives the same robotic way that we know the rest of the sleepers do. So that was pretty awesome. But I wanted to talk about some of the things that kind of bugged me out. You know, kind of had me tweaked out a little bit. So I drove up to Philadelphia. We finally get there, 5.5 hours. And I get out of the car and grab Freeman Fly's, one of my favorite researchers, and his wife, one of their books that they had written. I was going to get him to sign it. So I'm walking up, and I see somebody from behind. It's got the ponytail. You can hear the voice, and it's fucking Freeman Fly.
Yeah, I was playing with the name. Basically, what I'm, boiling into is that.
Just wanted to get him real quick.
Thank you.
So yeah, we just start rapping, just like a regular guy. He's talking about his new band. Lets me hear his new band. Talking about Pantera. Talking about what I know about magic and what he's learned and everything. I really just came to see him, even though he's not presenting, and see Jordan Maxwell and to see Mark Passio. I didn't even know that Ken O'Keefe was going to be here. And that was fucking awesome.
In a watch is a concept of time, equates to a concept of awareness.
Great, man. I just saw that speech you did up in California.
Berkeley.
Yeah, it was amazing, dude. 2 hours long. It's amazing. I just wanted to tell you, I respect what you do. I got you on video. Is that cool? That's fun. Thanks, man.
Learn their own and be able to use these kind of methods that we're referring to.
So anyway, the event was about exposing the occult, and people who were involved in, MK Ultra government mind control programs.
Okay, so what happens when the MK Ultra victims break their programming later on at that magical age of 30, or what's the 28 club, 29 club, or whatever, when all those rock stars died? How about it, Daphne or Mark?
Well, I'd like to jump in just a little bit here. First of all, they're survivors. They're not victims.
And, the occult influence in our society that the elite use against us subliminally through the media, pretty much everything, movies.
I'm a pyramid with people here, man. This is a conspiracy place. Why would you see so many eyes and pyramids? You think it's weird you're seeing a lot of eyes and pyramids around here? Nothing. Got nothing from that guy. Yeah. This guy's got the fucking Star of David over here. Look at the dog. What's the dog? What's the dog?
Yeah, or
Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet. What is that? Oh, man. You finding it weird that there's a lot of eyes and pyramids in this place? It's a conspiracy convention. Why are they using so many eyes and pyramids around here? People are going to start yelling the whole shill thing. You would think that they'd be careful about that kind of stuff. I've seen they did it nonstop. Why would you want to show a Freemasonic symbol at a conspiracy convention? How come people won't talk to me? How come people won't talk to me? Why am I not approachable?
You are approachable. You're not talking loud enough.
You're talking right in the man's ear hole.
You're not talking loud enough.
That's two people I asked a simple question to, and I got nothing.
No.
Then all of that, what you just saw was going on. And I'm starting to think, like, this is weird. Why would you come to a conference that is designed for conspiracy-minded people and the research that we do, but you got the Eye of Horus everywhere? And then you notice that Luke Rutkowski is there from We Are Change, who's linked with Alex Jones. And I know we in the community know that Alex Jones is straight up COINTELPRO. You know, he's a gatekeeper. He's a Zionist shill. So these connections I start to make start getting a little weird. I'm like, whatever. Okay. First up is Jay Parker. He is someone who grew up in a satanic family and was subjected to satanic ritual abuse. He doesn't talk about really any of that, though. It's mostly about the chemicals in everyday life. It's in the air, food, water, medication, and a big section on chemtrails. The whole thing was mainly about his orgonite that he was selling and the research he's done into orgonite. During his presentation, he starts playing a Matt Boylan clip. I'm sure you all seen the one where he's standing in a ridiculous sky of chemtrails. You know, the one where he's like, they're faking with you. You know, they're faking you up. Your sky is fake. Your sky is inorganic. And everybody got a big kick out of it, but I don't know if he talks about flat earth in that video, but if he did, of course it was taken out. So I met a lot of cool people that night. You know, people who are actually involved in satanic ritual abuse. It's one thing to learn about this stuff and study it. And it's quite another thing to meet someone who's actually experienced it. And then it really cements the fact that this kind of stuff actually fucking goes on in our society. It's surreal when you realize that at some point in people's lives, they just say, fuck it, you know, I'm just gonna start drinking blood and eating babies. A good friend that I met who's involved in satanic ritual abuse told me that the Howard Stern show was there and he was interviewing people, and he got interviewed, and he went into talking about his brain injury and stuff like this, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh well, great, that's just perfect. Yeah, I'm sure Howard Stern show is showing up to, support the conspiracy subgenre, counterculture. I told him, I was like, pretty sure that your clip's going to get used, and it's going to be followed by the comment, well, it looks like the truth community is full of people with brain damage, so that's going on, people from InfoWars are selling products there and whatnot, COINTEL. But I kept asking people, so what do y'all think about the possible and inevitable and surely the COINTEL persuasion that is probably there with us at this conference? And the reaction I got every time was, what? COINTEL? What's that? I'm like, counterintelligence, an agent. And they're like, I don't know. How are you in the truth community, researching conspiracies and not know what COINTEL is? So like I said, Freeman's not doing a lecture, but he is presenting the next speakers. And while he's talking, this happens.
When asked at CERN, when they said, yeah, we're going to punch a hole into the other dimension, they were like, yeah, something might come through. And these are very serious scientists. This is not, us. That's the way telling you the earth is flat, or, whatever is necessary.
Which brings me to my next point. Really wanted to meet some flat earthers, and I wasn't sure if they were going to be at this thing. I didn't know if this was their scene, if flat earthers go to just flat earth stuff or whatever, but I had a feeling there would be some, but I didn't know if I would find them. So I walk up, and Freeman is telling someone a story I've heard a lot on his show and through his research about when NASA sent the Keanu Reeves remake of the black and white movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still, and how they sent the movie radio signal to the Alpha Centauri star system, and about the time when they sent the Doritos commercial to Ursa Major.
So weird. when they're sending like the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still to Alpha Centauri. And what do you think those people thought when they watched that movie?
And so at some point I was able to cut in and say, so, hey, Freeman, how do we know that? And he said, oh, it was in the news. And all due respect to him, I had to choke back a laugh. So then I said, but how do we know that they did that, though? And he gave me a face like, I mean, if you're just going to question everything, then nothing is real. Yeah, you're right. We live on a flat plane and we live in a bubble. I was like, whoa, how did you go from there to there? I mean, I had said nothing about flat Earth. I'm sure, hopefully, most of you know I'm not a full-on flat earther. I'm a ball Earth skeptic. If anything, I'm pretty sure I'm a geocentrist at this point. But I'm riding the fence because, information still needs to come out, and I don't want to be wrong. But anyway, so everyone here realizes that there's an elite oligarchy shadowing our government, manipulating us through ancient occult practices enhanced by psychotronic technology, who uses the president, who's nothing more than a spokesperson for the corporation that is the United States, to dictate to us lies and propaganda while subversively enacting their plan of global control through wars and debt enslavement via centralized banking. But you believe NASA press releases? And you use that as proof points in your lectures? My final consensus is, free your mind is controlled opposition. There are people there speaking truth. There are people there who are fully awake like we are. But the conference itself, it really just makes sense. The fact that it's so public and it's widely known, it's controlled opposition. But I think the people there, on average, are just there for conspiratainment. And I think that's pretty much what the Free Your Mind conference is. It's conspiratainment. It's people who just want a little thrill. Conspiracy hobbyists. And hopefully, just like I hope the rest of you are. I'm like a real fucking truth seeker, like a real truth seeker. And some of the stuff I heard there ain't truth. If you don't want to talk about flat Earth and you dismiss it like we were dismissed, that's not truth. So Saturday night there was a Q&A where all the speakers were up there and a panel, and we in the audience could get in line and ask questions. And it went on, the usual questions, that I wasn't really paying attention to. And then someone mentioned the flat Earth, and the place exploded. This is really what I wanted to get to. The place exploded. People were yelling from across the room at each other. Not angrily, but there was yelling back and forth. Like, as soon as flat Earth was mentioned, things changed. The atmosphere changed. I met Mel Fabregas from Veritas Radio. He was awesome. And we all tried to spread the news about Santos and his work. But on the whole, it was just half truth. They'd go into everything, Israel, and they'd talk about lots of things that you wouldn't normally hear in mainstream conspiracy research. But flat Earth was dismissed every time. And that's not truth. We're conspiracy people. We're supposed to free your mind. We talk about everything. There's something there. There's something there to be talked about. Really just ranting about the whole experience, just the atmosphere there, and what actually seemed to be mind control going on there. And as far as them exposing the occult, it seemed like they were actually promoting sorcery. And overall, my message about the whole experience is that you should never have to pay for truth. You should never have to pay for truth. Those tickets were $170 for the whole weekend. But I hold no grudges against any of the speakers that were there. I will be going back next year, and hopefully I can see some of you guys there. I'd love to meet some of y'all in person. You know who you are. So, with that, chicken balls, signing out.